Hey, it's the second week of 2018, which means I'm going to follow up on last week's comment that we were going to go through some of my personal goals for this upcoming year. How's it going? This is Austin Bristow, and you found another episode of Designed for Discipline. So today I'm just going to go through 3 or 4 of my own personal goals for the year and share with you, as we talked about last week, sort of the why behind picking some of these things for myself this year. The first thing I've got is actually just a word, and for me it's something I want to become a little bit of a lifestyle change for the year, and that's simply the word intentional. I know a lot of people pick words for the year, and this is the one that I've chosen for myself. As I looked at a lot of my goals, I realized that we've had some big changes, or we have big changes coming up this year. We just welcomed our second little kiddo into the house, which is going to change our family dynamic a lot. It's going to create different responsibilities, different expectations. So along with that, there needs to be a proper rebalancing, I guess, of things within my professional life, within my own goals, within our social life, and how we go about doing things on a day-to-day basis. So for me, there's a lot of times where I get caught up in a scroll session or reading articles that actually have no real pertinence to my life. And 15 or 20 minutes into it, I realized I've kind of wasted that time. It was an unintentional, a poor use of my time. So as I think about being intentional for 2018, that's really why I dove in and tried to call out these specific goals that we're talking about in this video. Another goal that I've got for myself is specifically related to spiritual growth. So for me, I want to continue doing what I've done for the last few years, and that is what I call PB&J time. It's my prayer, Bible, and journal. For me, I like to spend at least 20 to 30 minutes in the morning, spending some time in the Bible, reading a reflection, and then journaling about it. Some sort of verse that stuck out, also how it might tie into what I'm going through in life, or even just journaling about things that have happened on a day-to-day basis. For me, this kind of really hit home this past couple of weeks as I looked back at 2017 and realized that my wife and I have been praying for about 20 to 21 friends or family members who were expecting kids back in 2017. 3 of them were our own nephews, which is pretty cool, a couple of cousins, and then lots of close friends who were expecting babies to enter their world. So when you think about tracking things like that and having a journal to keep all of those things in one place, as you go to review them at the end of the year, it kind of makes for a cool reminder of the things that you've been able to go through, either good, bad, or indifferent. So PB&J time is something I really want to do continuing throughout 2018. Another goal I've got falls into the financial bucket. Specifically, I want to create savings buckets for ourselves. We've been pretty good about creating budgets every month where we know which expenses are coming in, so the money is going to be going out towards them. But for whatever reason, I've done a poor job of creating buckets for things that we know will be happening in the next 6 to 12 months, or maybe even a little further out. The biggest example I can think of is that this year, in 2018, Christmas is going to fall on December 25th. And I don't know if you know that or if you can see the calendar behind me, but that's what it told me this year. So I realized it would make a lot of sense because in the last couple of years you get to November, December, and it becomes a scramble to see if the income we have coming in will be able to cover all of the gifts we want to be able to send out for our nieces, nephews, godchildren, those kinds of things. So if we can set some money aside every month, we're going to have $300 or $400 before we ever get to November pretty easily, and that's going to make it a lot less stressful when we talk about why. When I talk about why, as in last week, being able to create those buckets will just reduce the stress that it seems like we tend to have around that time of year or around bigger purchases that we know are going to be coming up anyway, so it won't catch us off guard as much. Another goal that I have for myself is just a personal one, and you're actually watching it right now. It's my goal this year to do one of these videos every week for the whole year. I think it's important that as I want to continue speaking and sharing these ideas with people, if I'm not putting content out there on a regular basis, it's basically proof that I'm not really serious about what I'm doing. So the more I'm sharing these videos, it gives me more opportunities to think about these ideas, to shape them the right way, and to hopefully create some kind of dialogue and feedback from people as I'm producing these videos. Those are 3 or 4 of my big goals for the year. If you want to comment below on anything that you consider important to you for the year, I would love to know about it so we can continue to support each other. But thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure to check back next week for our next topic.